The paths of the forest opened up to the daughters of Khaine, their magics revealing the secret passages long used by their sylvan kin of the forest to travel the realm with such blistering speed and ease. They sought out the magical nexus points, aiming to use these points of power to open up paths across the realm of life into the realm of shadow, Ulgu. The Seraphon sought to stop these interlopers in their domain. The elves planned to connect the realms of shadow and life, upsetting the balance of power and ley lines the Slann had drawn across the realms, and potentially lead to catastrophic forces being unleashed that should stay forever dormant. Seeing that the Khainites would not be persuaded to stop, their hosts marched to confront them, and as the two forces spied each other across the battlefield, battle began in earnest in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Our battle plan today will be Battle Plan 2 from Table 1 of the 2025-26 General's Handbook. Now this is called Paths of the Fae. Now first of all, our twist in this is if we're the underdog, we can essentially teleport units around the battlefield. It's a pretty insane twist on this one, with lots of stuff moving off of the basic movement phases. Now despite that though, what's really cool and I like about this scenario is the fact that even though we've got such a in-depth twist here, the scoring for the scenario is really simple. We score 5 victory points if we control at least one objective, 3 for controlling 2 or more, and score 2 if we control more than our opponent. In today's game, I'm going to be playing with the Daughters of Khaine, and I've gone for the Arena Veterans battle formation. This gives me Graceful Illusion. During any combat phase for the rest of the phase, friendly Daughters of Khaine elf units that are infantry have a ward of 5 up until they've also used a fight ability. Allows me to get units in and not get hurt too much before being able to dish out some damage. For my battle tactics today, I've gone with Master the Paths and Scouting Force. For my laws, I have the Manifestation Law Aether Wrought Machineries, the Prayer Law of Blood Shadow Rites, and the Spell Law of Law of Shadows. My first regiment is led by Marathi Khaine, who is my army's general. For units inside her regiment, I then have the Shadow Queen, a unit of Witch Elves with paired Stanzas, which has been reinforced, a unit of Witch Elves with bladed bucklers that's been reinforced, and a unit of Doomfire Warlocks. My first regiment is led by Marathi Khaine, who is my army's general. For units inside her regiment, I then have the Shadow Queen, a unit of Witch Elves with paired Stanzas, which has been reinforced, a unit of Witch Elves with bladed bucklers that's been reinforced, and a unit of Doomfire Warlocks. My second regiment then is led by a Hag Queen with the artifact of power, the Khainite Pendant. For units inside the second regiment, I then have a unit of Khainite Shadowstalkers, an Avatar of Khaine, and another unit of Doomfire Warlocks. Lastly, my third regiment is just a solitary hero, which is the High Gladiatrix with the heroic trait Zealous Orator. Stephen is playing with his Seraphon in today's game, and he's gone for the Eternal Starhost battle formation. This gives him Celestial Translocation, where he can pick a friendly Seraphon unit hold within 12 inch of a wizard once per turn during his movement phase, and roll a dice on a 3+, he can teleport them around the battlefield. His battle tactics today are Master the Paths and Wrathful Cycles. While his laws, first of all, is the Manifestation Law, the Cronspine Incarnate, and the Spell Law, Law of Primal Jungles. Then has a faction terrain piece in the form of the Realm Shaper Engine. And his first regiment is led by a Scourge of Gyran Saurus Old Blood on Carnosaur. This model is his general with the artifact power, the Blood Rage Pendant, heroic trait, Reptilian Cunning, and the monstrous trait, Titan of the Land. While for units inside that regiment, he then has a Sunblood Pack, Croxigor Warspawn, Saurus Warriors, and finally Agrodon Lancers. The second regiment is led by a Skink Oracle on Troglodon. For units inside this regiment, he then has a unit of Raptidon Chargers and a unit of Raptidon Hunters. The second regiment is led by a Skink Oracle on Troglodon. Lastly, his third and final regiment is led by a Skink Star Priest. For units in this regiment, he then has a reinforced unit of Skinks and another non-reinforced unit of Skinks as well. And so, we are all deployed on the table. For the Daughters of Khaine, in my centre, I have the Shadow Queen with a Hag Queen, Avatar of Khaine, and some Witch Elves with the bladed bucklers. On the left-hand flank, we have some Doomfire Warlocks and the Khainite Shadowstalkers, while on the other flank is Marathi Khaine herself, which one is that? That is the High Gladiatrix, And then we have the Witch Elves with paired Sciences and another unit of Doomfire Warlocks. For the Seraphon, front and center, you have the Scourge Gyran version of the Saurus Old Blood on Carnosaur. You've got Croxigor Warspawn and your Agrodon Lancers there. You've got 2 units of Skinks and your Troglodon on the flank there. You've then got your new unit of the Sunblood Warriors, and you've got the Saurus Warriors, both units of Raptidons and the Skink Priest there inside the temple. And so the Daughters of Khaine did finish deploying first, so they are going to get the choice of who goes first, and we're going to give the first turn to the Seraphon. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. And so, Seraphon will be taking the first turn, so we are going to start with the Seraphon hero phase. And so, to get us started, Stephen will be activating the Realm Shaper engine. He picks a terrain feature in 24-inch, and that is this forest down here. 3 enemy units will be the 2 units of Witch Elves and Marathi Khaine herself. So Stephen's now going to roll a d3 for each unit. Alright, so we'll start with the unit of Witch Elves in the front here on a 2+. It is 2 mortal wounds. Now, I do have a 6-up ward, and so 6-up ward from those. Pass 1, fail 1. And then we'll go for the other Witch Elf units, the ones with paired Sciences. That is a fail. And then on Marathi Khaine to finish, 3, she will have a 6-up ward on these. Passes 1 as well. And so we have put the 2 wounds. I'm just going to keep them on the Shadow Queen, much easier to track there, because obviously the 2 models for Marathi keep their wounds totaled together. So we go into magic for you. And so your Skink Oracle on Troglodon is going to attempt to try and summon the Kronspine Incarnate of Gur. Need an 8 to cast. That is a 6, it is not cast. Alright, so you're going to attempt Speed of Hawachi from your Skink Priest there. So let's see, can you get it cast? It is a 6. That is a 9. I have nothing to stop that, so it is going to go off.
Yep.
And we are going to put that on the Angrodons there. And so with that, it goes into my turn. I am going to attempt to do a magical intervention. So magical intervention, I'm just going to attempt to chant with my Hag Queen to begin with. And she's going to chant for 2. And so we generate 2 chant points there. With that, it's going to be the end of the hero phase for the Seraphon. We'll go into movement. And so Stephen's army has advanced up the center, especially with the Agrodons with their run and charge ability, and the Scourge of Gyran, Saurus Old Blood, and Carnosaur. Your forces have also moved out on the flank, taking 2 flank objectives, as well as that center one there. So, with that said, we are going to go into shooting, which I don't think will have anything, actually. And so, yeah, with your Raptidons being the only ranged units you have and your Skinks over there, no shooting will be in range for the Seraphon. So, we're going to go straight into charges. Alrighty, so going straight into charges, Stephen is going to charge the Agrodons first. They need a 4, they get a 10. And then Stephen need an 8 with the Carnosaur to get in. That is an 8, he is in. Alright, so after that, I am going to declare a counter charge with the Shadow Queen. She needs a 6 to get in to be able to jump over with her base. So, let's see if she can do it. That's 11.
Frenzy by blood.
So, Marathi Khaine makes her charge in like so.
Frenzy by blood.
So, Marathi Khaine makes her charge in like so. Alrighty, so first things first, we go into our rampages and end charge. You are going to use your armor cruncher ability on the Witch Elves there. So you need to roll a 5 or more for it to go off. That is a 4, unfortunately will not go off. I can then use Fury of the Shadow Queen in response to that, so that'll be 2 mortal wounds on your Carnosaur. Alrighty, so first unit to pick for combat, Stephen is going to pick the Agrodons. I am going to elect to go an all-out defense on my Witch Elves here. Stephen's then going to elect to use all-out attack as well, so he's got +1 to hit, but he is going to have -1 save. I've got +1 save against the attacks coming from the Agrodons. Alright, so starting with the Riders' Clubs, they'll need 3s to hit with all their attacks.
3. Yep, I'm done.
And then 3s to wounds. That will be 5. And so the rend 1 means I will go to a 5-up save on the Witch Elves as I used all that defense. Pass 2. That is a 6 though on the unmodified 6 roll. Thanks to my Bladed Bucklers, I do a mortal damage back to you. And so 8 damage. I do currently have a 5-up ward because the unit has not yet fought. So let's see what we can ignore. 1, 2, so that'll be 6 dead Witch Elves so far. And then the mounts will hit on 4s. And then we are 3s to wound or 2s?
3s.
3s to wound. There'll be 3 more. Rend.
Rend.
Alright, so Rend 2 means these are 6s. Save 1, so that's another mortal wound. That's going to be 2 all day. And then 5-up wards. Pass none of them. We will then go with the Shadow Queen first of all, putting all her attacks into the Carnosaur. Making her piling up the table as well. And so Heartrender hits on 3s. And so with crit mortal, that is 9 damage off the get-go. And then 3s to wounds, she gets 2 wounds through. And so 2 6-up saves. Failed out, that'll be another 6 damage. So that's going to be 15 damage. And so that is Wrathy Khaine done, but with that, that means there's no Carnosaur to attack, so we're going to attack with the Witch Elves next. And so the Witch Elves here, we are going to need 3s to hit with crit auto wounds. And then 4s to wound on the ones that didn't crit. So 1, 2. So 10 saves at a -1 due to you using all-out attack.
5.
So 5-up saves. Saved 1, 2, 3, 4, so that'll be 6 damage. And so you take an Agrodon away, and one of them cops quite a few wounds, but that is going to be the end of the round. So end of the turn. Stephen doesn't complete either of his battle tactics. He really wasn't able to in this first turn. But he does control 1 objective over there, 1 over there, which means it's 2 to none, so that is more as well. So it'll be 10 victory points to Stephen for the first round. And so going into Daughters of Khaine hero phase for turn 1. We're going to start with using my once per game artifact, the Khainite Pendant on my Hag Queen there. She gets a free D6 extra ritual points for 6 extra. And so we'll then go on to our magical abilities. I'm not going to do anything else with our priestess this turn. Alright, so we're going to start with casting some spells with Wrathy. She's going to start by first of all trying to cast Doomfire. This will be targeting the Agrodons. So we'll start with Doomfire. It goes off on 8 + 1 for her, takes it to 9. Alright, we're then going to go with Steed of Shadows. This is going to go on the Witch Elves in front of her. We need a 5 to cast. That'll be a 10. She's then going to attempt to cast Mind Razor on the unit of Witch Elves here. Which goes off on a 7. No, it does not, and in 8 that fails to cast. We'll then go with the Doomfire Warlocks down here. The Doomfire Warlocks here are going to attempt to summon the Aether Void Pendulum, which they do on an 11. And then my other unit of Doomfire Warlocks is going to attempt to cast the Quicksilver Swords, which they do on a 6 just. And so you need a 7 to stop me. You get the 7. And so, after all my magic's done, Stephen is going to attempt to try and magical intervention and get the Kronspine Incarnate out. So he needs a 9 off turn to get it. 7 new. And so with that, we'll go into movement for the Daughters of Khaine. And so, movement-wise for the Daughters of Khaine, we have both Doomfire Warlocks take out on the flanks. The Shadowstalkers join out over on this flank as well. The rest of the force moves down the center of the battlefield as well. And so we'll go into shooting. The Shadow Queen will use her Gaze of the Shadow Queen, targeting the Croxigor Warspawn. It is a 2 to hit and 2 to wound. So hits, wounds, and so that goes straight through the Croxigor's armor, so it'll be d6 damage for 4. And so the Avatar is going to shoot his Boiling Blood at the Agrodons in combat with my Witch Elves. So 3s to hit, 4 hits, and 3s to wound, just 1. So 1 5-up save on the Agrodons, saved. And so that'll be it for my shooting, so we'll go charges. We are going to charge with the Shadow Queen into your Crocodgators. She is in. And then the Avatar will charge the Agrodons as well. 3. Ooh. That will not get him in. I didn't move him close enough for that. That is completely my mistake. So he fails, but we are then going to pick our first unit to fight, and we're actually gonna go with the Witch Elves here. Before that happens though, Stephen may wish to do a counter charge. So I've got a couple of rampages to do. First of all, sorry, I've only got the one to do. Morathi Khaine on a 2+ is going to do some mortal damage. She does not. But we'll leave her. She's not going to be my first pick to activate. We are going to go with the Witch Elves here to activate first. Stephen is going to declare an all-out defense, so I am going to be hitting on 3s, 3 auto wounds, and then 4s to wound. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll just be 6 wounds. And so 6 saves. These will be at a 3-up now. Oh, 4 wounds. Alright, so next is your turn to pick the fight, and it's going to be the Crocodgators.
Yep.
Alright, so you're doing your Dragon Tooth pick, the more powerful weapon, correct? Yep. Needing 3s or 4s to hit?
It's the staff.
Starfang pick, sorry.
It's 3s and 2s.
3s to hit. 3 hits, and 2s to wound. 3 wounds. So these will be 5-up saves. None. And so can I save these? 6-up wards. No, so I take the 3 damage maximum I can for the round. And so the Shadow Queen will strike back next then. We are hitting on 3s with Heartrender. Again, we do 6 mortals straight up. And then 3s to wound. 2 wounds. And so -2 on your 4-up save means you go to a 6-up save. Save 1, that'll be 9 damage. 2d6 attacks from her Crown of Serpents for 9. 4s to hit. And 4s to wound. And that'll be 4 saves. So 4 saves with no rend means 4-ups. Take 2 more wounds. And then 1 attack with the Envenomed Hail. Hitting on a 3. Wounding on a 3. -2. So 1 6-up save. And that is 6 damage. Here's him gone. And so Morathi, the Shadow Queen there, takes down the Croxigors. You've got your Agrodon to go next.
Yep.
And so the Agrodon champion gets his extra attack from being a champion. And so 4. So needs
3s and 3s.
3s and 3s. Lovely. Let's see if he can hit. Gets 2 hits. And 3s to wound. 1 wound. So Ren 1. fail on that, so ward save of 6 up.
No, they've already...
6 up ward, no. And the Agrodon has 4 attacks.
Thanks for the token.
Yep. And wow, misses with everything.
Oh.
And so that will be the end of Daughters of Khaine turn 1. So, importantly, I am going to control 1, 2, and more for the objectives, giving me 10 points. But I also am going to complete the affray of both my battle tactics. For Scouting Force, I have 3 scouting units wholly outside of my friendly territory. And then I also did kill your character before, so I'm going to complete Master the Path's affray as well. Give me 20 points for round 1. And so we are going to go priority for turn 2. And so, Daughters of Khaine, we got a 6. You got a 5. Now that means I'm going to get the option of taking a double turn, and I think with the Daughters of Khaine, I most certainly am. And so, thinking about it, I really want to be able to complete some battle tactics and get the points I need to win the game. So, the fact that Morathi can't die at the moment, we are going to give the turn away to the Seraphon. Alright, so before we go into the round proper, Stephen as the underdog has to pick 2 objectives on the table to be the Spirit Paths. Alright, so Stephen's going to pick the 2 objectives on opposite quarters there. So we now have to pick up all the units within 6 inches of them. And so Stephen's skinks redeploy over on this side. Meanwhile, my Doomfire Warlocks go to the other objective. Stephen's Troglodon cannot get back on the table. So we will now go into Stephen's hero phase. We'll start with the Realmstone Shaper engine. And so picking the terrain feature here and all 3 units inside. So we'll roll a d3 for the Witch Elves to begin with. For 1, a 6-up ward, saved. And then for the High Gladiatrix, no. And for Morathi, 2. And it doesn't save either. And so you're going to attempt to summon the Kronspine Incarnate of Gur with your skink. Need an 8. That is a 7 and will not cast, unfortunately. We are going to counterspell. Morathi Khaine is going to attempt to get out the Quicksilver Swords. We do not. So with that done, it is going to go into Seraphon movement. Alrighty, so movement-wise, Stephen has moved around his Raptidons, consolidated on the objectives there, and then the Troglodon has come up from the shadows as one of the lost units, and now we're going to go into shooting with your Troglodon attempting to shoot at the Hag Queen. How many shots?
3 shots.
3 shots. And so you are -1 to hit.
So it's 4s.
4s to hit, thanks to Guarded Hero. 2 hits. And so 3s to wound. 1 wound. So 6-up save on the Hag Queen. No, and 2 damage means she needs 2 6-up wards. She passes 1. Next we've got the Raptidon Hunters here. They're going to be targeting the Shadow Queen. So 4s to hit. And then 4s to wound. And rend 2 means these will be 6-up save from the Shadow Queen. Saves none. Damage 1.
Yeah, damage 1.
So 6-up wards. Nope, but she only takes a wound from that. And then your large unit of skinks is going to shoot into the Aether Void Pendulum. So needing 4s to hit. And then 4s to wound. I've then got a 6-up save. Pass 1 and a 6-up ward. Pass 2, so take 3. And then the other unit of 10 skinks, 4s to hit. And 4s to wound. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 5. Could kill me. I've got 6-up save. None. 6-up ward. Pass 2, but take 3. That is the pendulum down. And so with that, we are going to go into charges. And so the Troglodon is going to attempt to charge into the Hag Queen. Not with a 4, it's not. And so spending a CP to reroll, you do need a 9. That is an 8. Unfortunately, that is not going to cut it. I'm actually going to allow it to spend 2 CP to do a counter charge with the Shadow Queen. Alright, so counter charge with Khaine. And so we have a 10. And so the Shadow Queen goes in with a multi-charge into the Skinks and the Raptidons there. First things first, Marathi is going to use her Rampage, and we are going to target your Skink. And so targeting your Skink Priest on a 2+, we are going to try and do some mortal wounds. There's going to be a mortal wound on your Skink Priest. And so the Agrodon now has 2 rage tokens. You're going to do the mount first, 5 attacks. Yep. And you are going to do all-out attack. While that won't work on the Agrodon's companion weapons, it will work on your rider. The Agrodon still hits on 4s. 2 hits. And then wounds on 3s. Both wound, Rend 2 goes straight through my armor. I do still need to roll saves though, because I potentially can do mortal wounds back. On a 6. Nope. That turns into 4 damage, so 5 upwards because I haven't attacked. None. And so then the unit leader has 4 attacks. He hits on 2s. 3 hits. And wounds on 3s. 2. It's cocked. Rend 1, correct?
Yep.
So I save both. And that is 2 mortal wounds back to him as well. And so we're going to put the Crown of Thorns and the Envenomed Tail into your Skink Priest, and going to go Heart Render into the Raptidon. So we'll start with Heart Render. We'll need 3s to hit. That is going to be 2 lots of mortals, and then 3s to wound. It's going to be 3 save. And that is the Raptidon's gone from Marathi. She's then going to put 2d6 attacks from the Crown of Serpents into the Skink Priest. 6. We need 4s to hit. And 4s to wound. 1 save, no rend on your Skink. So 5 up save, thanks to the cover.
Just 1?
Yep. No, takes a wound, and then the Envenomed Tail, 3 to hit, 3 to wound. It wounds, that goes straight through with Rend 2. And so, d6 damage, that is 5, that kills him as well. And so, with that, I've got these last remaining Witch Elves into the Agrodon. And Daughters of Khaine will need 3s to hit. Crit auto wound. 4s to wound. Just 2 on the Agrodon, no saves, no negatives. 2 saves on a 4 up. No, he goes down as well. And so with that, end of the Seraphon turn. Stephen did take an objective off me that I controlled in the previous turn, so he is actually going to complete one of his battle tactics. And then you control 1 and 2, so you're going to score points for those as well, giving you 13 points for the round. And so we go into Daughters of Khaine turn 2. We are going to start by doing a rally. And so we're going to make that rally roll, getting the bonus from the Musician and the bonus from the Zealous Orator ability on our High Gladiatrix nearby. So each one of these can potentially get us some models back. So 7 of our Witch Elves come back. We are then going to go for chanting a prayer. Just going to start with our chanting roll with our priest. Another 2 points, taking us to 10. And we will spend those abilities there for the Exaltation of Murder prayer, which is going to go on this unit here. And because that's the boosted power version, that's going to give us +1 a wound, +1 attack. We're then going to go with Marathi Khaine for magic. We're going to go with trying to cast Steed of Shadows on the Witch Elves in front of her. It goes off on an 8. Then going to attempt to cast Mind Razor with her. 6, 7, that will not go off. And then we are going to try and cast her Mirror Dance spell. Just going to swap places with the 2 models from Marathi. That goes off on an 8. And with that, we are going to end our hero phase. Steven's going to attempt to try and cast Magical Intervention. Steven's going to try and get the Crossspine out off turn. Needs a 9. That is a 9. Now, my Doomfire Warlocks may be in range. So the Crossspine comes out. With that, we'll go into Daughters of Khaine movement. And so we have moved down our Witch Elves here to go fight the Trogdon, moved some of our units across to the No Man's Land, and moved our forces up here to try and get these Raptidons. We're now going to enact a redeploy, d6 inches, for 3. And so the redeploy sees them there, so we're going to go into shooting next. I've only really got one thing to do, and that is the Avatar. And so it's going to shoot those Raptidons. Oh, actually, no, it will not be shooting. Can't see them with the shooting due to the forest obscuring them. So, go into charges, I guess. And so the Avatar needs a 7 on total, so it needs 6 on dice with the +1 to charge. Got 4. No, there's no rerolls for me there. And so we need an 8 on dice with the +1 to get the Witch Elves into the Raptidons. It's a 7, +1 makes that an 8. That's not enough. Now we're then going to charge the Witch Elves down here into the Troglodon. It's a 7. And so we'll go into combat against your Troglodon. Do you have a rampage for him? Alright, so you're going to use your Noxious Rule with the Troglodon before I get attacking. Roll a 1 dice. On a 3+, you'll make me -1 to hit. You do. And so the Witch Elves striking first. We are 4s to hit. And 3s to wound, thanks to the Exaltation of Murder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 13 all up. And so no rend on these. 4s on your Troglodon. We'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so the Troglodon is going to hit back. So being the bottom of the turn, Stephen will use all out attack for +1 to hit. So the Dividing Rod hitting on 3s. 1 hit. And wounding on a 4. Does not wound. Then the Troglodon Jaws, 2 attacks, both hit, and then a 3 to wound. Doesn't wound, you did roll a crit mortar, so 3 damage, so these will be 6s. No, 3 die. And then the Troglodon Talons, 4s to hit. Nothing, unfortunately. And that will see the end of the round. Unfortunately, I only control 2 terrain features in your territory, so I don't complete one of my second parts of my battle tactic. However, you've only got 4 units in No Man's Land. I have more units than you, as I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in No Man's Land. So we'll complete the second part of one of my battle tactics. I'll then also control 1, 2, and more objective-wise. Thank you all for watching today's video. If you'd like to help the channel grow some more, why not consider joining up to our YouTube members? This important feature here allows us to continue to produce more and more content of the various games you like to see on the channel. It also allows you to put in requests and ask what you would like to see more of on the channel in the future. So we are going to go priority for round 3. And so, for the Daughters of Khaine, we got 6 again. Stephen got a 6, so he's actually going to get to choose. And so, Stephen is going to elect to take the turn as he breaks ties as the underdog there. However, Stephen as the underdog, pick 2 objectives. And so, Stephen is going to pick the center objective, and this objective over here. So we'll remove our units, and so our units have redeployed like so on the objectives. So we'll go into Stephen's hero phase now. And so your Troglodon is again attempt to cast Comet's Call.
I need 7.
That's an 8. And so I'm going to attempt to dispel with Doomfire Warlocks. That's a 10. No, does not go off. I'm going to elect to do a counter spell. And we're going to attempt to do Doombolt with the Marathi Khaine. So it goes off on a 6, I think. No, that is a fail to cast because of the -1 due to off-turn casting. So we'll go into Seraphon movement. So no movement to speak of, quite happy where you are. Crossbone just turns to face. Just got some shooting to go. You're going to go with the... before you do your shooting though, during your movement, I'm going to do a redeploy on Marathi. So Marathi's going to redeploy 1 inch. And so, going to go with your javelins. So you're going to use all-out attack when shooting against her. So needing 3s to hit. And 4s to wound. Be 1, 2, 3, 6. And so round 2 goes straight through my armor, so these will be 6 up saves. No, does the wounds, and that'll take Marathi down. So the Troglodon's going to shoot with its attack into the Daughters of Khaine.
It's a
D6 attacks for 1. And 3s to hit. Hits, and 3 to wounds.
Rend 1, damage
Rend 1,
2.
so 6 up save. 6 up save. Nope. 2 damage means 2 ward saves of 6. Nope. And then we're going to go into charges. Yep, Kronspine's going to be your only charge. Just don't roll double 1s. You're good. I'm going to declare a counter charge with my Hag Queen. So she's going to go into your Troglodon. She gets in. Alright, so the Kronspine is going to go first. Alright, so Kronspine with 6 attacks hitting on 4s. Yeah, we'll hit 4 times. Wounding on 2s, I believe.
2s, yep.
All of them. And so these will be 5 up wards. I saved 1, 2, 3, 4, so 8 die. Cool. I'm going to go with my... and so I'm going to go with my Hag Queen first. -1 to hit, so we need 4s to hit, but crit mortal on my weapons. Nope, 2 hits. And so we are going to need 4s to wound. It's just 1. So 1 at -1 on the Troglodon. 5 up save. Oops, saved. Troglodon gets to fight back. Yep, little guy on top attacking the unit of Witch Elves.
4s and 4s.
Yep.
All out attack.
Yep, going all out attack.
Actually, no.
No?
Not when...
No, not when the unit's still got to go.
Yeah.
Both hit.
4s.
1 hit, and then...
4s?
Yep.
4s. Rend 1.
So, no, fail. Damage.
D3.
So roll your damage up. For 2, use 5 up wards, save 1, fail 1. And so 2 attacks with your jaws, 4s to hit. 1 hit, and 3 to wound. Wounds, rend.
Rend 1.
So 6 up, nope.
Damage 3.
3 damage. No. Then your claws.
These are 4s and 3s.
4s to hit. And 3 to wound. That's it. Nope. Damage.
Rend 1, damage 2.
6s. No. 5, sorry, because I haven't attacked. So, dies. 1 is left. And so that one model will attack back. Hits once. And crit auto wound, so 1 save.
No rend?
No rend.
In that case, I am...
4 up. No. Alrighty, so the Witch Elves into the Kronspine then. We are needing 3s to hit. 2s to hit actually, with +1, due to turn 3. And then 4s to wound. Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, that's terrible. And so 11 saves on the Kronspine. No rends. So
6 up save. What's the plus?
So 6 up save to begin with.
Nothing.
And then a 6 up ward. And 6 up ward. +1, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so with that, that's going to be the end of the turn for the Seraphon. You did kill a hero, so you will complete that battle tactic. And so, end of turn, Stephen will get the points for killing a hero for battle tactics. He also controlled the only objective within my territory, as well as controlling 1 and 2. So that will be 18 points. Alrighty, so we are going to go into Daughters of Khaine, turn 3. Now we're going to go into my hero phase. I'm going to start with Steed Shadows from the Doomfire Warlocks up the... We're going to go that unit of Doomfire Warlocks there. And they get it on a 9. And so you're going to attempt to try and dispel. You need a 10 on dice. That is a 9. That will not do it. So it goes off. I'm then going to attempt to cast a Mind Razor on... No, the other unit of Doomfire Warlocks is then going to cast the Quicksilver Swords, which they get off. I'm then going to attempt to chant Prayer with my Priest. That generates 5 points. And so, do you have a counter spell that you wish to do at all?
I can't. I've used my...
No, Stephen's used all these casts up for the turn. So it'll be into Daughters of Khaine movement. And so, movement-wise, it's all done for the Daughters of Khaine. The avatar comes across with the Warlocks and the Gladiatrix in the centre, and we go towards the corners of the battlefield with our Shadowstalkers and other Doomfire Warlocks. So, we're going to go into shooting. I'm going to start with the avatar targeting the Troglodyte. Actually, no, we won't. The avatar can't see, and I do not want to shoot the Kronspine for reasons. No, can't shoot there either because they did run, and Steed of Shadows is just run and charge, not run, shoot, and charge. So we'll go into the said charges, which will be the Avatar's going to do the first charge. Going into the Troglodyte. Not with a 4, he's not. Doomfire Warlocks will then charge. It'll be a 4, that'll get him in. We'll charge with Quicksilver Swords, it needs a 9. Not with a 3. And so we will start combat with the Witch Elves here. And so the Witch Elves into the Kronspine. We are needing 3 to hit. We have 6 doing crit auto. There's 2s to hit, by the way, because of the +1. So 4s to wound. Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus all these. So that's 15, 20 wounds on the Kronspine. And so 6 up saves. You do have a 6 up ward, however, you need to roll the roll of all rolls to live here.
And with my roll...
And so can Stephen perform a miracle? No. No, he cannot. He rolled 1. And so, where are you going to pick to fight next? Alrighty, so the Skinks are then going to attack the Doomfire Warlocks. You need 4s to hit. And 5s to wound. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not bad. 5 up saves. I save 2. And then 5 up war. Oh no, 6 up wards because they're not an infantry unit. Take 2. And so the Hag Queen's going to go next. She needs 3s. That is crit mortal. And then 4s. That is 3 saves. 3 saves at -1. Fails 1, so it takes 4 damage. Troglodon taking no chances. It doesn't want to die this round, so it's going to put everything into the Witch Elf. And so your Scepter, both miss. 2 attacks from your jaws now, because you've taken 10 damage.
4s and 3s.
Nothing. And then your Talons.
4s and 3s.
1 hit. 3 to wound. Save. Rend 1.
Is 1, damage
So
2.
6 up. Nope. And 5 ups. Pass 1, fail 1, I die just. Alrighty, Doomfire Warlocks into the Skinks. We are going to need 2s to hit. And then 4s to wound. And so 7 Skinks die from the Riders. Now the Mounts hitting on 5s. And wounding on 4s. 1 save of 6 up, please. Hey! 1 skink does not get kicked in the teeth by a horse. And so that'll be the end of the Daughters of Khaine turn.
Oh no, they already have.
Yeah, the skinks have attacked, so that is the end of the round. So I'm going to control 1, 2, and more because objectives are sticky in Age of Sigmar. And so, because of my piling, I do also complete the battle tactic point for the 3rd part of Master of the Past, so I'm going to score 15 for the round. And so we're going to go into round 4's priority. Daughters of Khaine got a 6 again. And so the Daughters of Khaine are going to take the double because I believe I can make this thing a done deal. So let's go into the Daughters of Khaine turn. We're going to start with the Doomfire Warlocks there. I'm going to cast Doomfire into the Skinks they're in combat with. Not go off on a 6, I don't say 7 to cast, so that will not go off. So the other unit of Doomfire Warlocks is going to cast Steed of Shadows on themselves. Doesn't go off either, so no magic. But I do have a Priest who is going to chance. Get 3 to go to 8. And Enema Hero Face, Stephen is going to attempt to cast Counterspell.
I'm going to do the one that makes you...
Alright,
if I read that correct.
Stephen's going to cast Mystical Unforging, so let's see what happens. That will fail as well. So, we'll go into Daughters of Khaine movement. And so, just something we forgot before I got carried away with my magic. We did have to do the deployment, and so we've done that. Wouldn't have changed what we did. The units have just moved like so. Stephen's other unit of Skinks are now in reserve and will come on during his movement phase. And so, end of movement phase, it looks like so. The Avatar is coming up behind the Troglodon. We've moved up our other units across the table as well, teleporting the Khaine Shadowstalkers. And we'll go into shooting. So we'll start with the Avatar. 6 shots into the Troglodon. 3s to hit. And 3s to wound. 3. So 3 4-up saves on the Troglodon. Takes 2. Khaine Shadowstalkers will go into your Raptidons. 9 attacks, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3s. Ouch, that will be 6. So 6 6-up saves into your Raptidons. That is 4 damage, so kills 1, puts a wound on another. And so with that, we are going to declare a charge. Avatar's going to go into your Troglodon. He is in. And the Warlocks will go into your Raptidons. They're in as well. And so we'll start with a Rampage, going with our Avatar first. Rolling a d3 on a 5. We do an amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. However, because the Troglodon's a monster, we double that. So that'll be 6 mortal wounds, and that'll take him down. And then our first attack is going to be into the Raptidons with the Warlocks. We are hitting on 2s. And then, because we're in turn 4 now, we're going to be wounding on 3s. Plus 1 wound now as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 saves. -1 on the Raptidons. 6 6-ups. Past 2, but there's going to be 4 more damage that have killed 2 more. Then the Dark Steeds attacking. Just land a single hit. And no wounds. And so the Raptidons will be attacking back. So the Raptidons, first of all, hitting on 4s. And wounding on 3s. 3.
Rend 1, damage 1.
And so these are going to be 6-up saves. None. Damage.
1.
6-up wards. Pass 1, take 2. And then the Riders.
Weighted Moonstone Club.
And so 4s to hit with the Riders. Not too shabby. Need that roll again though. 5s to wound. 1. 5-up save. No. 6-up ward. Yes. So that'll be the end of the round. I will complete another part of a battle tactic. And so I complete the battle tactic from having 3 terrain features controlled in enemy territory. And then I'm also going to control 1, 2 more for 15 more victory points. I won't actually score the battle tactic because I took the double, so I only get the 10 points. And so, with this being the end of round 4, we are going to call the game here. Stephen just doesn't have the bodies to complete the battle tactics he needs to and take the objectives he needs to get the points on the table. Even with the ability to switch around the objectives, he's got to be able to take control of every objective on the table, and every point for him is vital, while realistically, I just need to get more objectives than him, which is much easier for me to do with the faster units I've got on the table, especially with a teleporting unit like the Khaine Shadowstalkers. It's going to be game, and it's going to be a victory to the Daughters of Khaine. Thank you all for watching. We hope this battle report was enjoyable for you, and if you did enjoy it, please go check out some of our others in the playlist on the channel. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all of our future wargaming content. Thank you all.